good afternoon. My name is Catherine Pappas, and I'm the Director of Workforce Strategy for PipelineAZ. PipelineAZ is a technology platform that specializes in career exploration and placement. So I was asked to come here today to talk to you a little bit about career search, the job market today. I'm going to show you the tool and then try and answer a couple of questions that came out of a recent survey that you received. So with that, I've got a couple of cue cards that I'm going to be popping up on the screen as I go through my presentation in case you want to fast forward to some of the different areas we're going to talk about. So first, it's tips for the job search. And then we're going to get to PipelineAZ as the second sort of section. So I'll go right into the tool and just show you a little bit of what that looks like. And then we'll go into questions. All right, so let's dive in. So first things first, how has the job market changed? Well, it's changed pretty substantially given the fact that we're all homebound now. And due to COVID, it's a very, very different world in the marketplace. I want you to not be scared and continue to have hope and be open because jobs will still be there. Many people have lost their jobs and it's scary right now. However, it's just given what is mostly in demand and needed today. Markets and job markets are always going to be cyclical depending on what's happening overall in the world. Right now, it's just a crisis that we're undergoing. But once we get through this, it will be a completely different world again. And skilled and talented people will be needed in many different types of roles. So it's important that you start to think about and prepare yourself for looking at what a career could be for you and really taking the opportunity to start thinking about how to put yourself in a good position for today and tomorrow. So first and foremost, what are some specific things that you can be doing as the job market is shifting? First thing is networking. And I know that networking probably assumes you should be in person with somebody, but networking is very powerful when done remotely because there are a lot of different ways that you can network with people today. We have tools that are called social media now, right? A lot of different types of tools. And so it's important for you to start networking. Look around for people that you know, family, friends, or people that have positions that you're interested in. And it's totally okay for you to ask for an introduction to somebody from a family member or a friend or a family friend that you know. That's the way you start to perpetuate a network. The next thing I wanted to cover in terms of how sort of the marketplace has changed is how you position yourself. So again, talking about social media, there is a lot of different ways that you can, use social media. So for example, Facebook, sometimes someone will send you a joke or meme, and all those things are good and fun, but you need to think about how an employer might view this or a potential prospective employer. Social media is searchable by everyone if things are public. So it's really important now more than ever, because employers have the ability to look at social media accounts, and sometimes they do research on potential employees, that you keep your profiles and your social media accounts professional. So something to think about, be aware of. And the last thing I'll talk about in terms of how the marketplace has changed is there will still be jobs, and there are jobs today. And I mentioned that before, but this is really important in terms of seeking and searching for pathways because in real time, things are changing as they are right now. So it's really important for you to think about what's most important to you in terms of career search. With that, here's the next thing we want to talk about, which is have a plan. So when you have a plan for career search, you'll be able to articulate the different steps that are necessary for you to take in order to get to the end goal, which is into a career. So the first thing that you want to do is your research. So I'm going to share with you what PipelineAZ looks like. It's a great tool for you to go on and look at every single career right in your own backyard. Even some of the careers that are in industries that are emerging and really cool here, like medtech. There are a lot of different careers that you can start to understand what is needed for getting your foot in the door. What kinds of skills do you want to hone? Right now is a great time for you to start taking online classes or finding ways that maybe through an internship, which companies now are creating remote internships, you can start experiencing and gaining skills and attributes and experience towards what you might want to be doing tomorrow. So preparing yourself, researching, and having a framework in terms of what is important to you. So everyone wants to find a job that is purposeful. It's important for each of us to consider both from a personal and a professional sense, what things bring us joy, what things you want to make that decision upon. Salary, geography, what you're actually doing, the tasks day to day. These are all critical pieces that will inevitably make it a job that you love and a career that you love, or something that you want to change. So having a framework and understanding what's important to you will enable you to have a greater ability to decide between one thing or the other. And then having an end goal is really critical. If you know you want to be a software developer, that's your end goal. So what are the steps you then need to take? Reverse engineer your pathway to get there. And it will help you find, many different avenues exist today, especially because we're in a remote area. There are we have access to education and learning opportunities online. So that's great. And ultimately, as I mentioned, internships and apprenticeships are there. If you don't even know where to start, some people don't have like a great idea of what they want to do. Not everyone from a young kid knows exactly what they want to do when they grow up, and that's okay. You can take an assessment and start to see where, based on your interests and what you enjoy, types of careers that you're suited to do. That doesn't mean you have to choose them. It's just a filter, if you will, to help you better understand possibilities. Okay, so we're gonna go next right to the PipelineAZ site. So give me a minute. I'm gonna share my screen with you. 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen, and you can see what the site looks like today. So it's all about exploration. As I mentioned, you can look at all the different careers that exist in your own backyard. So we're talking about software developer. We can go right into what that looks like. Here are some results for those jobs. You can go right into industries. So here are all the industries that exist today on Pipeline. And we even align to some of the local industries. We'll keep adding on to these as we grow throughout the rest of this year. But I mentioned medtech earlier. This is a really interesting emerging industry that we have in Phoenix because we have such an abundance of technology and emerging technology companies, and then obviously using technology in the medical space. So think about things like wearables. These are really exciting jobs that you can start to understand how to get there by coming into Pipeline and looking at the industry in and of itself. So what you'll do is, let me go back here, is first create a login. So you click on the login, and so you create your login and password. And then once you do that, you'll come right here to your dashboard. So this is what you'll see anytime that you log into Pipeline. it immediately allows you to start doing search. So you can go right here, continue to do exploration, but ultimately what you want to do to match to any kind of position, internship or an actual job, you go right here where it says match to jobs. You would click here and then it'll take you through basically a digital resume. If you're not sure where to start, you can take an assessment, and that's right here. Very easy and takes about 5 minutes, and it will filter your results into some actionable of 3 industry areas, and then multiple careers inside each of those industries. Or you can go right here into different career paths. When you go into different career paths, you can really start to understand what the salary information looks like, what the types of roles are. So let me show you what I mean. So we're in IT now, so we're staying on the technology track here. As you go into each industry, you look at all the information we collect here for you. Local featured news articles, related careers in IT, and related companies, like who's hiring in IT roles today. And then here's where you can go into actual high demand careers. So these are featured because these are really sought after careers right now in market. So we were talking about software developers. Let's go in here. So you can click on learn more, and you can see all about the career path itself, the environment, the AKAs are also known as. So what other titles do people also refer to a software developer as? But what's great about this is you can see the salary breakdown. This is average salaries. You can see what the projected and available jobs are through 2024. Look at that, over 18,000 jobs predicted through 2024. So think about now, here we are in 2020 through 2024, the amount of time it will take you to gain the skills to get your foot in the door, you know, is important to know. If I'm going to invest in my education, is that job still going to be there? Then there's also a sample career roadmap. So entry, mid, and expert level titles. It's developer, manager, director. And then some of the supporting certifications and degree recommendations, 2- and 4-year schools, or other programs where you can gain the skills you need in order to be a software developer. You can also see what kinds of expected tasks are day-to-day of a software developer, and what kinds of knowledge, skills, or abilities that you are really expected to know in order to get your foot in the door. And then, of course, here in Pipeline, we've got all the jobs that are posted currently for a software developer. Anyway, so I wanted to just give you at least a quick spin around Pipeline, but ultimately, when you go in and create your profile, this is really important. So this is what I said, your on-site resume. Through completing these 4 very basic pages, you will inevitably be able to then go to your dashboard and have these jobs are coming to you and are matching to you specifically based on what you entered in your profile. So it's a matching tool and an exploration tool. So a lot of great insight you can gain by going to Pipeline, excuse me. I'm gonna stop my share. Okay, so wanted to go into the last section, which is questions. So a couple questions that came up that I wanted to cover with you briefly. Here's one. How can I better understand about the job that I'm applying for? Great question, actually. And this is what I just showed you on Pipeline. One of the ways you can gain information about what a job is in Pipeline. So it's important to know what the top tasks are. You can also understand what the aliases are. So what do people call this? Because again, if you're applying to a job, you want to understand kind of what job family it belongs to, because a lot of times people use different names for jobs, but ultimately there are common titles. And that's really what you're finding in Pipeline is more the common titles, but you'll still, if you search for something that's not as common, you'll still get to that common title. But in order for you to better understand the job that you're applying for, research the company, go in and understand the culture and all that information that you'll want to know about the organization and if it's a good fit. But ultimately, to see the job day to day, you can go into Pipeline. We also have things like day in the life videos that are posted on many of the high demand jobs, so you can really kind of try on what the role looks like. But look at what the expected tasks are. Look at what, you know, knowledge, skills, and abilities that you need. I'll give you a good idea and framework to make some decisions. All right, here's the next question. How do I find a career that allows me to lead others and work with my hands? This is a great question. Everyone has different things that are important to them, as you should. And so your purpose should be different. Everyone's is. So having a career where you can lead and work with your hands, of course that's possible. There are many different ways that you can start to identify this. First thing is through an assessment. And then again, having the time to do the research, which you do right now. So this is really important. Start to identify the things that are critical to you. Take assessments, research different jobs to see what the combination of the things that you find important, the attributes that you have, or the skills that you want to learn are really impactful. And then last one, how do I find a job in technology? Another awesome question. So great news, technology jobs continue to be on the rise in Greater Phoenix. This is an emerging industry for us, which means I showed you medtech, but we've got fintech, autonomous vehicles. There are a lot of different types of sort of sub-industries that are going to continue to emerge in technology. We are in that industrial revolution, the Internet of Things, where technology is completely, you know, in our lives. And so with that, it's technology's everywhere. You don't have to go specifically to the IT industry to have a job in technology. Now technology could be and is in every field, because we use technology in our daily lives. So the good news is technology jobs continue to be on the rise. And so it's more about what type of role are you interested in performing and what is a better match for you. So if you have questions and need some assistance, PipelineAZ and our team are here to help. Please come to the site. You can email us at info@pipelineaz.com. and we're happy to respond and help you out, or go onto the site. There is an area where you can contact us at the bottom. You can just fill out a simple form and we'll get right back to you. And there is also a complimentary app for pipelines. You can go to the iOS or Apple store and you can download PipelineAZ there as well. So you can go on and check once you fill out a profile, any messages or updates on positions you might be searching for. Hopefully this was helpful, and stay well everyone, and good luck.